Then we did the caverns.
Here we go.
Was
Yeah, sorry, Gabe, to cut you off, but I think
you
I
good?
think
You
that's
good?
what it was. Yeah, because it's looking a lot better even on my side. What's going on, everybody? We tried something new where we wanted to get one of our audience Discord members in from Discord and do audience audio only. But I think that messed up the stream. It probably really decreased the amount of speed that it's look once
Yeah.
I got rid of Discord.
I'm still seeing those frozen on YouTube. Am I the only one?
No, I went to a different. I had to go to a different.
Oh, because he restarted. He opened a new stream.
Yeah. Open up a new stream. So
yeah.
So it didn't go back to the old link. It didn't go back there.
No. You have to go to the new link.
New link.
Well, live and learn.
What's the new link?
I wonder if I should send out a tweet saying, "Hey guys, just join." Yeah, let me do that real quick.
For it.
All right, you guys talk to the people while I take care of this thing here.
All right, Gabe, keep telling us about New Mexico.
Oh yes. so yeah, the Van fam is in New Mexico the last week and change. I think last time I was in Arizona on the podcast, we went to Carlsbad Caverns. That was pretty cool. We went to White Sands National Park.
Nice.
Today we're in Roswell, New Mexico, doing alien stuff, looking at the alien museum.
Nice.
And then I think tonight, or not tonight, tomorrow, we'll probably be back in West Texas, making our way back to Miami.
Nice.
So.
Did you go to the Four Corners spot where all four?
It was closed from when we were looking at it. It was closed for the pandemic, so we're gonna try on the flip side.
Why would they close the border? Like, that seems kind of like a stupid thing to close.
Because everybody just wants to convene on that one stupid spot, so it's probably going to be like a super spreader event.
How is it a super spreader event? It's a tourist trap in New Mexico, Arizona, and the other two.
Was it Utah?
Utah, Colorado, yeah.
The other two. He doesn't even know the other two.
I live in Florida. What are you gonna say?
If Disney can make it work, I think the Four Corners could make it work with social distancing and a line and a queue system.
No, you know what?
Disney. You heard about Disney? You heard about that article this dude put, an opinion piece about Disney? It's too woke for him.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's a mess. We could talk about that for a minute.
Disney's got financial reason to do it.
Yeah.
The other place, not so much.
He said it's fantasy, so everybody knows all the racist characters are not real. So it doesn't matter if you have them.
and then the examples he gave were so bad, like the Song of the South. That's like one of the most racist movies that in the Disney catalog, and the Splash Mountain was based and retheming it to Tiana ride, Princess Bride. Princess Frog, and that's gonna but. No, that's not good enough for him. He wants to see his Song of the South caricatures.
All right, guys, we're going to start the show. Let's get this going. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Boom. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? This is CaseStudyQB, and we are the Political Junkies. I just want to thank again our big man, Neat, Alan Amberster, for testing out that feature, trying to really have more interaction with our audience, and it didn't work out, but we're going to keep working at it, and we're going to get things figured out. But let me go around the horn and say what's up to my peoples. Gabe, we got Carlito, we got Izzy, Felipe, John, and Bendone. What's going on, Gabe?
Hey, we're here live from Roswell, New Mexico, to see if we can see some UFOs.
Nice. Carlito, how you doing, my man?
Yo, man, I'm not too good, man. My barber had to take a, personal, kind of like a personal day, and for mental health, that means he couldn't give me a haircut. So, I'm struggling.
First world problems.
Privileged.
Yeah,
you should go see my barber.
I am very privileged because he does house calls, so that's what he was doing.
That's nice. That's very nice. Holly Horn, I just want to say what's up to Holly in the chat. Izzy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I wish I could trade places with Gabe right now. That's for sure. I need to get the hell out of this place.
I feel you. Felipe, how you doing, my man? Congrats.
I'd love to just be. Oh, thank you, bro. I'd love to just be vanning around the country right now. It's zero stress, just driving around. That sounds fantastic.
Congrats for what, Felipe?
Yeah, tell him
your accomplishment.
Tell us, man.
I graduated college.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Congrats, my man. John, how you feeling?
I don't have to stress on Sundays anymore.
There you go.
Most of it.
And now that you start working that, doing all the studying at college, now you want to leave us even more than what you're currently doing, right?
Yeah, I gotta make bread. That's it.
It's all good. It's all
damn
love.
centrist.
It's all love. John, what's up, my man?
I'm doing great. My barber came to see me, so I'm good.
That's all that matters.
Bro, who's your barber, Gillette?
Myself. I don't have Carlito problem.
Bendone, how you doing, my man?
Good. I'm very happy that Carlito's team lost this weekend.
Oh, ouch.
Really? What kind of hater ass stuff is that, man?
I'm just saying, we won, you lost.
The hate is strong.
Yo, but we got chips, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we have more chips than you.
No, you don't. This is the brand new league, new franchise. All the stuff that from the past it don't matter. This is brand
all right,
new.
we're gonna get this
That's
thing
like
started.
ABA, counting ABA championships right now.
We're gonna get this thing started, and first thing I'm gonna show is there's some news this week that just happened, and we got the race, the special election. So remember, Gary Chambers was the person I wanted, and I think that we all wanted. He was the most progressive in the Louisiana special elections race, replacing Cedric Richmond, that he went into the Biden administration. And it was some controversy because Our Revolution endorsed Karen Carter Peterson, also Nina Turner, and then eventually once she won the runoff, so Gary lost, and it was between Troy Carter and Karen. AOC jumped in and endorsed, and a bunch of other people. Elizabeth Warren endorsed Karen because she said on her website she's for Medicare for all and she's the progressive alternative. But I did my own research and she was a very sketchy candidate. I'm not gonna go into it right now. But anyway, the result is Troy Carter won, and we know Troy was endorsed by James Clyburn, and the person Cedric Richmond, who's also a moderate and just terrible for that seat, and he endorsed Troy. And unfortunately, guys, another moderate hits the dust. Actually, not hits the dust, gets into the office. So yeah,
We're celebrating moderates now.
I know, right?
That's what he was saying. Like, he was like, he sounded way happy that Karen lost.
Anybody got anything to say?
You sounded a little bit throwing a little shade at AOC because it was like
because
she won the primary, then she wanted to endorse Karen.
She always endorsing when it's not even necessary, and not only her. I don't want to pick on just her, but like we needed people, the progressive family, to jump on board Gary Chambers early, and even Nina didn't endorse Gary. I mean, it's just disappointing.
Yeah,
but I mean, we just. Go ahead, Carlito. Sorry.
Nah, when it was like down to, the establishment dude, and then somebody that was, better than him, that you had even Stacey Abrams and Elizabeth Warren. I mean, not that I count so much, whatever. But but you had other people. Then they still did something. They endorsed, so it's no need to throw some shade.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it didn't work out after all. And you know what's interesting? And this does happen occasionally. Gary Chambers came out full-throatedly endorsing Karen Carter Peterson after he lost. And I think, it's that thing where you're trying to help the progressive out by everybody that supported you. You're trying to shuffle them in to the other person's camp. So almost like how Bernie tried to sheep herd the progressives into Biden's camp. It was kind of thing like that. And a lot of, at least I know one person, Louisiana for Bernie, I chat with her today, and she was upset that Gary was so helpful. I hate to say helpful, but so eager to, shuffle his support to her. Now, that's a good question. I want to ask you what you guys think about that, because that does happen every so often, that the person who lost, the progressive, is just trying to help, even with the Green Party. So, for example, the Green Party would drop out and give their support to the Democrat, who's the moderate, but just to try to help them out. What do you guys think about that? Felipe, let me go to you. I'll go to Felipe real quick because I want to get a different side of the coin.
I mean, what do you want them to do? Say, go home, stay home, don't vote, screw the Democrats. No, that's gonna make the rest of their life harder. So obviously, if you want to go forward and you want to not like sit and accomplish nothing for your entire life, you do what you can to get ahead.
All right,
and
Gabe.
in this case, it was helping the person involved.
Yeah, thanks, Felipe. Gabe, go ahead, buddy.
I just want to say I 100% agree with Felipe. The number one path to power is let them beat you or let them steal your power and let them beat you in a primary. And then you come back and then you just give them your support for free. I think that is the way that in 50 years, we will get all of our progressive policies in place. Five for 15, 2070.
I'm getting your sarcasm and I'll match you because
Felipe lives have been so great with all the Democrats in power.
Go ahead, Felipe. Go ahead.
He's back at brunch.
I'm sorry. I lost it.
Look at his outfit. Look at his outfit. He's ready for brunch.
Yeah. I dressed for my look today was
mimosas.
No, Gabe. I mean, what do you want from them? Really? Like, okay, sure. They helped the Democrat. So
about the number,
like they're losers. Would you rather have the immature approach of being a sore loser?
I think what you need to do is you have to get concessions for your endorsement. That is whether it's your endorsement, whether it's your vote. And I think that's the number one mistake we're making right now with the progressives in the House and the Senate is they're automatically giving their vote. Even when you go back to the presidential election, AOC already said she will vote for the Democrat unconditionally. And when you don't do anything for your endorsement, they just take you for granted, which is why Joe Manchin has all the power and the progressives, that there's more of them, have zero power because they're not demanding anything for their vote.
So if she didn't say that and voted somewhere else, you would be mad because
it's not about voting somewhere else. You have to let them come to you and get you. That's what happened. They took AOC's committee seat and gave it to who? Somebody who said that they wasn't going to vote for Nancy Pelosi. So it just shows that when you fight back and you just say, hey, I would really love to vote for that stimulus deal, but this is a non-negotiable $15 minimum wage. And then you go, and if you don't put it in, we're going to say 20.
We don't need to rehash this again with the $15 minimum wage on that.
There you go.
Like a broken record.
All right, so the only thing I just
want to know real quick. I just want to know why do people I want to know what role did the Jim Clyburn role play in this, right? Because he continued to seem he did in North Carolina, and I was seeing he did it in Louisiana. I want to know what I would love to see the black vote turnout for this Carter guy based on Jim endorsement. It'll be interesting to see because I just want to see why the black voter continue to follow this guy.
Yeah, so actually I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I saw a tweet where they broke down the numbers, and it's actually a majority of non-college whites that voted for Carter, and a lot of the black people actually voted for Karen Carter Peterson. So that is interesting. What kind of clout James Clyburn had in that particular situation, but I don't know. That's a good question because, like I said, Karen got a lot of the black vote in that situation. So I don't know if it helped at all. Well, I doubt it helped at all because his constituency is the black voters. So I'm just disappointed overall that we got another moderate in there. Yeah,
well, Clyburn is he goes with the establishment. So that's what he does.
All right, we're going to keep it moving. And I want to show everybody before we go into the Carlitos rapid fire. We go here. So usually I would put up the mask, right? And I'm like, I don't know. A lot of these people I don't even know, so I'm not even gonna put the mask on there. So I'm gonna put.
Is it because the mask mandates might?
I know, right? Everybody's getting vaccines, and we're about to be open, baby. So we don't need the mask anymore. But
vaccinated, baby, vaccinated.
Here you go. Yeah. Here's the first person I'm going to ask.
Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
This is the first person I'm going to ask you about. And then this person here, I'm going to ask, because if anybody knows their name right now, or even if they're in the House or in the Senate, or if they're, what position they are. All right.
But I'm going to. Baby Rubio.
No, that's that dude from California. That's that dude from California.
Yeah, John. Okay, John got the state. John got the state. That's the
guy that looks like the actor from Sons of Anarchy.
So I'm going to come back to these people because Carlito is going to do a rapid fire that's going to include their names, and then we're going to come back.
Oh, that's them people. Okay.
Yeah.
I read the article.
All right, so we're going to come back to it, but right now.
He's from Texas.
Carlito, you ready for your rapid fire?
California.
You got neat with the shade, not so rapid fire. It's the musket fire.
All right, Carlito rapid fire will be like 40 minutes long.
I know, right?
It's like pop, pop, pop.
Carlito, you ready to go?
Stuff the gunpowder.
You ready to go, or you want to do another trivia?
Let's do this, man. Let's get it out the way, man. We know how we get, man.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring up this question. How many senators, including Bernie, wrote a letter to Biden asking for Medicare expansion? So we got, did 17 senators do it? Did 50? You know, we got 50 Democrats, or 3?
17. 17. 3.
Okay, so Gabe said 3.
17.
Carlito,
38.
you said how much?
3.
I'm gonna go with 17.
50.
Okay, and Izzy said 17. I think I heard
17. Yep.
All right, Felipe, what did you say?
I'll be contrarian. 50.
50. All right, let's go. So the answer is 17. Bernie Sanders leads 17 senators in letter to Biden asking for Medicare expansion. And, you know, this is something that even Biden promised. You know, we got to hold him to his own promise. He said he was going to bring it down.
Hillary promised it too. Hillary promised it.
To bring it down from 65 to at least 60. And it's like, it hasn't even happened yet. So, like, what's going on? All right. Anything?
Never mind. I don't need. I can't.
What are you going to say, Carlita? I'm curious. What are you going to say?
Nah, man. It's like, it hasn't even happened yet. Dude's been in office.
Bro, like the guy's been exceeding in other places.
But
the economy is at a boom right now.
So let me correct myself.
Let
me correct myself. The fact that Bernie has to even write a letter.
Dogecoin is up.
The fact that he has to even write a letter shows that there's resistance. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
I mean, potentially, but I mean,
yeah, but I mean, saying that he hasn't done it yet, it's like, come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, my guy just did 200 million vaccines in 100 days.
Yeah,
92 days.
Felipe, didn't you get a finance major?
Yeah, I had an accounting major, finance double major.
How are you going to give Biden credit for the economy? He hasn't been in office in like a week.
I'm just saying the economy is not. Donald Trump, like back when he had a Twitter, said there was going to be a Biden depression. Where?
It's coming based when Trump policies start to expire. You'll see it.
Well, let me say that
Come on now.
All right, we're going to move on.
You're going to give Trump credit for stuff now?
No. It's not giving Trump credit. You can't, but we can't be hypocrites here. Sit here when Trump came in office and Obama, he was writing all Obama thing. We sit here and we're like, oh, it's all the Obama policy, everything that Obama did. And then all of a sudden Biden's in for 2 months and it's all everything Biden's doing is not what Trump.
But you're saying
that's not what I'm saying.
We can't be hypocrites like that.
No. You're saying wait till you said wait until Trump's policies expire, like it's gonna be a
there's going to be some policies
but we know
that's not even what I meant
that
by
Trump is basically presided over a bubble. We know he's going to crash because of Trump. So you're going to blame.
That's not even what I meant by what the economy is doing right now.
No, I'm not.
Unemployment numbers are at an all-time low since coronavirus.
Listen, I'm not giving Biden any credit for the economy right now.
No, you should. The post-COVID economy is recovering because of direct actions that Joe Biden is taking.
I mean, I know
unemployment has reached.
The stimulus help. The stimulus
help. The stimmy money.
Yeah,
unemployment has reached the lowest numbers since the beginning of COVID.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. I don't think we're going to agree to this.
For no reason,
we're not going to agree to this.
Positive here. Y'all always hating.
Let's go. Carlito.
Where's the calzone?
We're going to go to Carlito's rapid fire now and hit that out because I don't think we're going to agree on this conversation. Go ahead, Carlito. You ready for you, baby?
I want to do a show where we don't start hating on Biden for every little thing, man.
He's so old. He's so wrinkly. He had a facelift.
Right. I gotta stick up for our old people. Vaccinated, baby. Vaccinated. All right, there we go. Number one. Let's start with something kind of, I don't know, kind of positive, I guess. Mm-hmm. Minnesota Police Oversight Board votes to ban white supremacists. Update crowd control tactics. By Theo Keith at KMSP Fox 9 in Minnesota. So this is 2021. And the Minnesota Peace Officer Standards and Training Board took the unanimous votes 2 days after Derek Chauvin's murder conviction. And on the same day, Daunte Wright was laid to rest after he was killed by police in Brooklyn Center this month. The Post Board, a collection of law enforcement and community members, has little power to enact the changes itself. It may take 12 to 8 months for the state's rulemaking process to create new policies matching the votes taken Thursday. And so 2021, they're saying no white supremacists in the cops, in the police. And there's no guarantees because Republicans control the Senate. So why would banning racists from being cops be a tough law to pass, John? What do you think?
You said, man, it's 2021, and I don't even want to be having this discussion. Like, it's crazy, you know. But like you said, I don't see anything having this controlled Senate there, so they're going to find some type of excuse not to move it forward. So,
well, Republicans say they're not racist, so why would they not want racists in the cops?
States' rights.
Say a lot of things.
States' rights.
States'
Police
rights.
unions.
All right. Let's move on. So, we know that they said there's no guarantees because they control the Senate. So why is it a problem that Republicans control the Senate? Well, this next article says GOP bills target protesters and absolve motorists who hit them, by Reed J. Epstein and Patricia Mazzei at the New York Times. So we got Republican legislators in Oklahoma and Iowa that passed bills granting immunity to drivers whose vehicles strike and injure protesters in public streets. A Republican proposal in Indiana will bar anyone convicted of unlawful assembly from holding state employment, including elected office. A Minnesota bill will prohibit those convicted of unlawful protesting from receiving student loans, unemployment benefits, or housing assistance, and so forth and so on in Republican-led states, including in beautiful Florida, with the next Republican.
What do you mean including? Florida started that. We did it first. We did it when it was cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, Republicans think it's perfectly reasonable to drive over and kill someone who is blocking you from getting to your dinner reservations with no mask or anything. So what you think about that, Gabe? That's reasonable, right?
I think that it's a catastrophe. Like Felipe said, Florida is the leader in that. And the fact that these state legislatures could come out with this kind of rule, I think it's completely unconstitutional. It's against the First Amendment, lawful assembly and freedom of speech and all that good stuff. So I think it's preposterous. And I think that I hope that even a conservative court could strike that down.
I wanted to add on that because I don't feel like you went in depth enough, Carlito.
I mean, it's supposed to be rapid fire, man.
I understand, but it's not just about hitting people with your cars. That's just the most extreme sounding thing. If you're at a peaceful protest that happens to become a violent protest, that's immediately a third-degree felony. Just if you get picked up at a peaceful protest where a part of it became not peaceful. That's actually, like Gabe said, it's unconstitutional. And I think it's just ridiculous that was written and signed and put into law.
So, yeah. I mean, that's what happens. But, this is where I expect you guys to jump on Democrats because they could be on the airwaves. They could be campaigning on this immediately because it's so atrocious that there's no way you could lose, going on, they want to run you over pretty much.
Exactly.
You just go with the extreme example because that's going to get the attention. Yeah. But, whatever.
It's almost like the Democrats are weak almost,
Hey, come on, man. We know that if more Democrats are in control, this wouldn't happen. I mean, that's why conservative Democrats are wasting money on fighting each other. Okay, so let's see. So House Democrats in safe seats as DCCC donors for help fending off progressive challenges. Daniel Moran's of HuffPost. So there's the people that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
So 2 House Democrats in safe seats used a party-sponsored video call with donors on Wednesday to solicit help against progressive challengers, according to a Democrat present on the call. The appeals from Representative Jimmy Gomez of Los Angeles and Veronica Escobar of El Paso, Texas, both members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Oh my God, the irony just kills me, man. But anyway, yeah, man, they over there in a Zoom call that's meant to raise money for swing district Democrats that are in danger. But here they are begging for money from donors to go against other progressives. So, what was your take on this case?
Yeah, so I just want to put emphasis on that. These are 2 Congress people who are in blue districts, like plus blue districts, they have no worry once it hits the general that they would win because they're just super bright blue. And they are asking these donors, and specifically it was more Gomez, the guy on the left, Jimmy Gomez, who was saying, oh, because I take PAC money, the left is coming after me, so I need your support. Like, that's what he's saying. And it just kind of reminds me, because it's kind of an unfair thing to go to these billionaires. So it kind of reminds me of when we think about monopolies and the reasons why we break up monopolies is because they try to have an unfair advantage over the competition. And here's Jimmy Gomez kind of doing that, where he's trying to get an unfair advantage, trying to raise as much money as he can over, grassroots supporters who usually do not make that much money. So I think that I'm going to... That's why I put these guys in the trivia, because I want to remember, especially Jimmy Gomez, I want to remember his face moving forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, what you think, Gabe? I mean, Gabe, you got something?
I was just gonna say two things. One, Case, you're canceled for saying guys. You're actually folks. Because second, as soon as I saw the pictures, Case, when you put them up earlier, I was like, man, those look like Latinos that really don't have Latinos at the forefront of their important constituency. They look like the ones that they've made it. Now they're corporate sponsored. Yep. And then when this came up, I was like, I knew it. So that was all I wanted to add.
The last thing I'm going to add real quick, Carlito, was that Jimmy Gomez, he came very close to losing his race to a lefty, Our Revolution, the local Our Revolution person in organization in California endorsed Kim, I believe. I forgot the first name.
Yeah, David Kim.
There we go. And it came, I think 9 points. He came very close to defeating Jimmy Gomez. So, yeah, he's very scared.
Yeah, because that district is, I think it's like 60% Latinos and 20% Asian.
Yep.
But I think also real quick, and I know it's rapid fire, but one more point I think is the involvement of the DCCC, right? We talked about the blacklist, and they were talking about, they lifted the blacklist in March. But at the end of the article, if you could scroll down the other article, they did say that the DCCC goal is to give the incumbent Democrats all the necessary power to stay in office to continue to fight for the people. So indirectly, indirectly, they basically say, we're going to do everything we can to keep the whoever's in power now in power.
Yep. That's
so.
Go ahead.
In theory, that's be against the Republican challengers, but they even talking about primaries after we had Pelosi saying, we shouldn't get involved in primaries and only go later. And then of course she endorsed what's his face in Massachusetts.
Yeah, the Kennedy. Kennedy. Yeah.
So, but pretty much. So the DCCC is going to do whatever it takes to keep their people there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carlito.
Yeah. So, on the next musket fire topic. So the North Carolina Colonial Pipeline spill keeps getting bigger by Robbie Jager, a Medium. So we go from bad news to existential news. According to a new press release from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, Colonial Pipeline Company, whose pipeline leaked over 1 million gallons of gasoline into the Euler Natural Preserve in Huntersville, North Carolina last August, verbally informed state regulators that their most recent estimate of 1.2 million gallons was no longer accurate, and that the model used was no longer appropriate. As such, the NCDEQ is requiring Colonial to yet again revise their volume estimates, making this the third time the agency asked her to do so. So the agency, the Colonial Pipeline first they said, we only spilled 63,000 gallons. And then they were like, not really, it's more like 250,000. And then they did the numbers and they were like, wait, this doesn't look right. Give us another estimate. So then they said it's 1.2 million. And now they're saying like, wait, actually it could be more. So why do agencies keep believing these companies, Izzy?
Yeah, and why are they even allowed to self-report on things like this? Like, that's the craziest thing, like we should have regulators out there doing that job for them rather than letting them self-report on something this dire. The Colonial Pipeline Company is responsible for 32 of the 38 pipeline spills in North Carolina since 2000, as well as 272 of the more than 2,750 pipeline spills nationwide during that time. So every single one of these pipelines is never a matter of if it will leak. It's a matter of when. Every single one of them. Anybody who believes the BS that these things are safe and that they're not going to leak is out of their minds. And that's why we need to be 100% renewable ASAP, and not even this 50% reducing our carbon emissions by 2030, like what Biden is pushing for.
Izzy, I don't
Who
understand.
works on their quality control?
I thought that, when a company's this bad, the invisible hand of the market is going to replace them automatically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, it might, after North Carolina is like a tar pit with random petroleum fires. Yeah, maybe at that point they'll stop giving money to what was it, Colonial Pipeline.
And remember, this is North Carolina we're talking about here. So even then, that's a question mark.
Even then, yeah.
That's like a spoiler alert for Jack Snyder's Justice League. The end.
I don't get it.
It sounds like a good. This sounds like a good candidate for a corporate death penalty, because once you get into the hundreds on oil spills, it's kind of like, all right, I think it's time to cut it out.
Yeah, like the first 50 will give you a pass.
it was a trial run. It's a pilot. Like they try to do nowadays. It's all a pilot.
200 time is a charm.
Up, Ralph.
Yo, it's like, how many chances are we gonna get at calling this a rapid fire?
I'm gonna say 38. Maybe next time will be the last low one.
He's gonna change it to Carlito Rundown.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Number 5. Switch gears a little bit. The USDA extends universal free lunch through next school year, bringing relief to millions of food insecure families. By Laura Riley at the Washington Post. So in March, the USDA said the waivers which make school meals more flexible to administer will be extended only to September 30th, leaving schools and families uncertain about the next school year, what the next school year might look like. But of course, the pandemic is far from over. So now the waivers, this waiver they allow all children to eat free and outside of traditional group settings at meal times. They also allow parents to do curbside pickup of multiple days of food at once for students learning from home, even without the children's presence, and in many cases for meals to be dropped off at a student's home if they continue to learn virtually part or full time. The Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack also said in a statement, this action also increases the reimbursement rate to school meal operators so they can serve healthy foods to our kids. It's a win-win for kids, parents, and schools. So show your boy Biden some love, Felipe.
God, that's such a good move. No one can complain about giving like food insecure families food for children. No one. Complain about it.
I can't complain.
Complain about it.
We're talking about a year. This is something that should just be a right.
Privilege.
It should be a right. Countries, almost all the other countries, school lunch is a right for all students. And they get healthier food than we get. If you watch Where to Invade Next, the Michael Moore documentary, they talk about France and the healthy food that they get. And lunch is essentially a subject that teaches them how to eat in a good way. They get multi-course lunch. They get the food served to them at the table. And then you know what happens? Their food is much, much, much healthier than ours. So we count ketchup and potatoes and French fries as a vegetable. Pizza is a vegetable. It's like, come on. So we're over here giving a tennis clap for a year. This is something that shouldn't even be an issue. And with Democrats, with the full power, they should make this for forever.
That's because it wasn't an issue until the pandemic. They're giving waivers so they're able to, since the kids can't go to the school, they're letting them bring the food to the kids. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
You realize free and reduced lunch existed before the pandemic too. This is just making it universal.
But I mean, no. But
for a year is what I'm saying.
It's saying for a year, but like
for the pandemic reason.
The free lunch, it was not just like what I'm saying is like you got to like free lunch should be free lunch, regardless of your income, regardless of anything. This is not based. This is they say universal, so it doesn't matter if your parents make 50,000 up to 250,000, right? So in America, it's only the way that we want it. Not everybody gets free lunch. And they talk about healthy lunch. There's nothing really healthy about our education system lunch. It's pretty bad. And I think we talked about it in one of our episodes where the potato lobbyists, they took French fries out of the school lunch and the lobbyists went crazy and they introduced it back, right? Because we know that one of the Michelle Obama initiative was to introduce healthy eating, and people went ballistic. So I think what Gabe is getting at is like, we shouldn't be discussing this like, yeah, it's through the pandemic, but lunch should be free for every student. Is this not the reason why we pay property taxes for? Like, we shouldn't be sitting here talking about if school lunch is universal or not. Like, yeah, in the pandemic, yes, it's great. You get to deliver. And I think we also talked about that was a way of keeping the bus driver employees. They were able to drive around and deliver the school lunch. That's great. So overall, they should just make it universal regardless going forward.
Okay, so this is why sometimes I feel like I'm straddling two worlds, because I agree with you, but at the same time, you can't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
No,
I mean,
Carlito, I'm gonna bring you to my side right now. Just wait. You know what it takes to give free school lunch universally? The increase in schools for lower income areas, the increase of funding that's in the Build Back Better plan. You know, the new infrastructure bill.
Oh, okay.
Things like that could lead to free lunch for students.
Permanently or just temporarily?
I mean, it's just increased funding for lower income schools. So
he's hypothesizing.
Or you could just take some money from the police budget and put it towards that.
Or the defense.
All right. So we're going to let kids starve until we get the perfect bill. Cool. Next story.
No, this man, it's not
I'm
about
saying,
that.
if it wasn't for this bill, it would expire. It would expire.
But nobody's knocking the bill. What
yes,
we're
you
saying
are.
is that
you literally are.
We're not. No, you
I
guys.
said you can't complain about a bill that feeds children.
Nobody's complaining about it. What I'm saying is, no, Gaby's not complaining about it. You guys are celebrating that's something that should be already done. Like, yes, like everybody's happy, nobody's against it, but we're sitting. You and Felipe are like, oh my god, this is great.
It is great.
We shouldn't even be discussed. We shouldn't be discussed.
No, we should not.
This is the bare minimum. You want to give them a participation trophy.
But without this, they start. Without this, we don't have it.
No, exactly.
This is good. There's no negative about it.
There's no
negatives about it.
Izzy, what you think? What you think, Izzy?
Sorry, I was trying to get off mute. No, I'm with Carlito. You know,
of course you are. You always.
But it's a must. It's a must. It's the bare minimum. I agree with you. It's the bare minimum. But it has to happen. What's the alternative right now? What's the alternative right now?
No, there is no.
It has to happen.
So then, that's the end of the discussion. That's I
want to fact check Gabe in saying that every other country has free lunch. That's not
many
true.
other. I didn't say every.
No,
single
you said almost every other. You quantified
almost.
No, it's not.
Listen, all right. Must get fired. This is a wrap, and I'll have the final word in saying that. Yes, I agree. We should have a lot more. Definitely agree 100%. But without this bill, it would expire, and this wouldn't happen. So this bill is good. Period. Now let's get some more. Next topic.
Exactly.
I'm ready for Carlito's celebration when the $9 minimum wage comes out. I'm gonna get my drinks ready for that one.
Nah, this is completely you arguing over a bill that's good to argue about something else.
That's the point.
It's because he's losing, bro.
Just don't celebrate it. Just don't celebrate it.
No, we gotta. I'm not celebrating. I'm saying
so hold on. So at that point, why are we celebrating Felipe's college? It's something that should happen. He should be graduating college.
Yeah, what's your master's degree, man?
Right,
it's next year, but yeah.
Why did you only graduate with a 3.5?
See, that's you have to celebrate the small victories, because otherwise you're always going to be sour and taking everybody down, and we're never going to get anywhere. That's a whole always infighting crap, man.
Trump would have did that too.
Rome was not built in a day.
Okay, you're not Trump.
We are celebrating something that should have already been done regardless.
Okay, but if it doesn't, so let's not.
It was done. It was defending it.
Gabe and I agree. You and your little clan over there disagree. It's fine. That's why we don't have no calzone. So keep it moving.
All right, you gotta keep it moving.
That should have been a no calzone. Who hates free food?
Should we feed school?
Hey, I see you, brother. Children? I got you.
Oh my God, we're never happy. All right. Last but not, let's find something bad about this. I know what it is. It should have happened 50 years ago. Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin celebrated 420 by sending 50,000 marijuana convictions up in smoke by Malcolm Harriet at the root. So Woodfin announced a blanket pardon for anyone with a closed marijuana conviction in the Birmingham municipal courts between 1990 and 2020. The blanket pardon issued in conjunction with the city's Pardons and Progress initiative sent more than 15,000 possession cases up in smoke. In an exclusive interview with The Root, Woodfin explained that the move was a last-ditch effort to blunt the devastating effects of the war on drugs. So they were trying to do a lot of little piecemeal things. They had a program where they try to get more people to actually apply to get pardons, but it wasn't getting enough participation. So the mayor said, you know what? I'm just going to do what I do, and I'm just going to, blanket executive order everybody that has a closed case pardon. If you have an open case, you still could come back when it's closed and apply the regular way. So he said, instead of asking people to come to us for help, I decided to take it to the people, said Woodfin. So that's what we did. Now, how is this bad?
Well, first thing I want to say,
the keyword, blanket. Blanket.
Blankets are too warm.
It didn't happen fast enough.
Well, universal.
Yeah.
Universal.
He waited until 420 to do it. Why didn't he do it at 419?
I know.
So first thing I want to say about Mayor Randolph is that Bernie actually endorsed him, I believe, when he was running for mayor, which was really cool. And now we see the fruits of that labor. Unfortunately, Randolph did not return the favor when he ran in 2020. Hey, what can you do?
Dirty.
Yeah.
That's why he sucks.
But I like this personally. I wish that we could get this more at the federal level with a certain Biden. But we'll see what happens in the future. We'll see what happens with marijuana policy.
Yo, there we go. We got hashtag Team Carlito, hashtag Team Gabe.
Yeah, let's go to the audience.
Yeah, hashtag Gabe is always wrong.
Let's go to the chat. So I want to give
that's
a shout
easy.
out.
That's easy. You can't put that one in there.
We got Mia. Mia's in the chat. We got Rafael Rodriguez.
The people know that we need to not go and take half measures because we're never gonna get what we want. The people know.
People think
I see you out
make
there.
feeding children.
Yeah. Anybody want to
We
read?
should not feed the children until we can feed them properly. Let them starve until we can give them great food.
Until they're eating sushi, they can't eat anything at all.
Yeah.
Yo, Alan hates me.
I know.
Don't want to allow that.
Raphael he loves his pizza Fridays. I saw that in the chat.
Pizza Fridays? The Mexican pizza?
No, we had the ones that look like a half a loaf of bread.
Oh yeah, the French bread.
Those are trash.
I know what you're talking about.
No, that's healthy. What are you talking about, Felipe?
Yo, man, you got ketchup. That's vegetables.
And the cheese that's dairy.
You got the cheese is dairy.
Is it cheese though? Is it real cheese?
Protein.
Yeah. Holly Horn, I want to give you a shout out, and I know you're in there as well. And Mia, we haven't heard from you in a minute. I know you always watch, but it's good to see you in the chat. Definitely.
Gotta give some more trivia so Mia could get involved.
Yeah.
Look, Mia said her district gets free dinner too, breast stick and orange, if that counts.
Yeah, I think she's in France, right? In France.
Oh,
Mia?
No, I'm sorry. We're okay. My bad.
No, that wasn't
Case out here making up stuff.
Yeah.
No.
At least I pronounce her name.
First, he doesn't know how to say her name.
At least
now he puts her in a totally different country.
At least I said her name right. All right. Are we good with the chat? I'm about to move on if we're good.
Raphael said he haven't bought milk at supermarkets because the school district gives milk away. So that's good too.
Oh, that's nice.
What district are you in? Paris?
But also, he said it's not free because it's tax dollars.
Yes. Tax dollars. Tax funded.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes.
Tax funded.
Yes. So we're gonna go.
And enough for the musket fire.
Yeah. So we're gonna
go. You'll be done by 8:40.
We're gonna go to this. This blew up on the Twitter account, on CaseStudyQB Twitter account. Follow me. And it got 52K. I saw Cenk Uygur responded. It first started with Bree Joy Gray when she first tweeted this out, and then it just blew up from there.
The queen.
Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia has essentially, used what seems to be a veto power against a lot of progressive priorities, including some
audio.
Wait, hold on. You guys can't hear it?
No.
Okay. All right.
So,
let me see if
it sounds like she looking like Felipe there. The American Rescue Plan was truly progressive. Just off of the words.
I got it. I fixed it.
Progressive
Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia. Senate.
I'm sorry, John. Say that again.
I haven't said anything. That was.
Oh no, I said that.
Oh,
I
go
said
ahead.
it's the most progressive piece of legislation to pass anything in recent history.
Let's go to the video.
Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia has essentially, used what seems to be a veto power against a lot of progressive priorities, including some of the ones that you've mentioned. But in the House, Democrats have this 2-seat majority. There are 6 members of the squad, of which you are a part. What's stopping you from flexing that same power for your agenda? You just said you would vote against a compromise on qualified immunity. Are you prepared, and the rest of the squad prepared, to use that kind of veto power that you have if you vote as a bloc?
No.
I'm prepared to do whatever is needed to make sure that that our agenda moves forward. But I can't speak for the rest of the squad members. At the end of the day, my sister Rep. Ayanna Presley says it all the time. You vote alone, and you're voting for your districts. So you're voting for the people who voted you in. You're voting their needs and their values.
All right. No, so what you guys think
about
that?
What she's saying is no. Her answer is no. That's what she said in a lot of words.
Yeah. Let me see them. I'm not trying to get Alan mad at me. So let me see if I say it. So what's the point of the squad? Isn't it like for them to at least be like aligned? Like, at the end of the day, everybody votes by themselves. But isn't that what like Democrats in politics they do? They come in and they say, okay, this is what we're going to go for. This is what may or may affect my district. And then you try to like force something, but looks like they just like to have a cool title and then do nothing.
It's just a cute moniker to be like trendy on social media. You can't call them like, oh, progressive Democrats in the Congress, AOC rep, Cori Bush, blah, blah. The squad just shortens all that. That's really 90% of it. They don't work together on anything.
So, this is like beating a dead horse, man. But we had Joe Manchin, one guy, he could do it. The squad, you got to get at least 5 together to block something. So it's not exactly the same thing. And even myself, I said that we want kind of like a Tea Party on the left, but that's not even really possible because the Tea Party, they just want to block things. It's easier to just block than to actually get something good passed. And when I looked at this tweet, there was somebody say S cover at Total 922. He was saying that outside of the ARP, what obstruction, what bills should they have blocked? So he mentioned bills that they have voted on. So they had 2 gun control bills, 2 immigration bills, a PRO Act, For the People Act, Equality Act, and next up is equality bills, immigration bills, DC statehood. And so which bills should they have blocked to get, whatever? It's not as easy as just saying you guys got to fight and block stuff. It's not that easy.
It's not, but you can't come in again. It goes back to the hypocrisy of things. Like you can't go and be like, oh, when progressive unite and we all agree on something, we get things done. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, each vote is on their own. Like they all the time, every time they get a little bit of something, they always say, when the squad come together and we get things done. And then all of a sudden,
they gotta come together first.
Hold on, let me say this, and then I'm going to pass it to Gabe because I think Gabe wanted to say something as well. When you have must-pass bills, those are the times that you are supposed to negotiate, withhold your vote, and the Biden administration will bring you to the table and say, okay, we can't do exactly this, but we could maybe do that. And that's the time that you negotiate. So, for example, with the minimum wage, you got Joe Manchin asking for $11 an hour. We have progressives asking for $15. Then the Joe Biden will bring them together and say, okay, can we at least compromise at 12 or 13 or something so we could get something done? Go ahead, Gabe.
You said it exactly. I was going to say the point. You said the question was, what bills do you vote no against? The must-pass bills. Yeah. Because you have the leverage. Do what Joe Manchin's doing. It's not rocket science. It's literally looking at when the Justice Democrats were created. Kyle Kulinski was one of the founders along with Cenk Uygur. And one of the original names they were going to say was Left Tea Party. That's what they were going to call it. Because that's exactly what they wanted to emulate, was that these crazy right-wingers had success blocking so much and getting their stuff included in amendments. He's like, why don't we have the same on the left? So when you look at that history, you look at now, it's gone way away from that. Yeah. What is the value of having progressives in Congress that just go along with the conservatives? There's no value. They're just going along with the conservatives. You might as well have 6 more Joe Mancins and you're still going to get the same policies. They have to show their value. Their people didn't vote them in to vote what Joe Manchin wants.
I was with you. I was with you until the end, man. That's when you like went over the Gabe line.
What point?
You know, we might as well have 6 Joe Manchins. Really?
Yeah. Gabe, I don't agree. I don't agree with you there.
What different bills are going to pass? Out of the bills that have passed, what bills are going to pass differently if we had 6 Joe Manchins versus if we had the squad? This is a serious question.
Would have been $300.
What else would I?
The stimmy would have been $300, or maybe not get any at all.
But the thing is that you have Biden. What is it? A $2 trillion infrastructure bill, right? That's what we look at. That's something like that. That's what we're saying. Mm-hmm. Then you have Joe Manchin here saying, "Oh, the Republican bill is actually bipartisan. It's $680 billion," and everybody's like, "Oh yeah." So what I'm saying to you is like, the squad should find things that they say, if this is not in here, we will block it. I think Corey said, right, something about ending qualified immunity.
Yep.
Like she clearly said, I don't think I would vote for that. So they have to find something that they could hold their power, because we always talked about this every single week. Like Joe Manchin is driving everything. Like he's basically the president of the United States.
President Manchin.
But yeah, we talk about it every single week. It's like we got to repeat the same thing every week, or at least I do. That they got to stop some bills, but when it comes to certain bills, like they're going to get destroyed. There's no way they can say no. Nobody gets a stimulus check until we get.
Yeah, we moved on, but now we're infrastructure.
No, I mean, that's the bill that we're talking about.
My point is,
now let's talk about this bill. Let's talk about this bill.
Okay, how convenient. Okay, so in this bill, I agree with they got to come early. I agree with Gabe. They got to come early, and that's what I said 57 gajillion times. Because if you don't come early and you at the end, that's when we are soft. Okay, we're not gonna let. We're not soft. We care. We got empathy. We're not gonna let people die. Republicans will let people die, so it's easier for them to block everything. So that's why we got to come in early and demand things.
Hold on, John. Hold on. I just want to say this one thing real quick, Carlito. Joe Manchin held up the bill. So if you guys remember the COVID bill, that they had that Republican that forced the staff to read the bill. Remember, they had to read every line of the bill. It took like 10 hours. Mm-hmm. Joe Manchin took up about 10 hours, about the same amount of time, because he was holding up that bill. And then they got something, whatever happened that they negotiated, it got done because he got his vote on it and they passed it. That's what I'm saying from our left, the squad. I don't want them to hold it up completely, but hold it up so that even if it takes 10 hours to negotiate down from $15 to $13 an hour, I would be, me personally as a progressive, that I want $15 an hour, I want $20 an hour. I would say, okay, at least I see them fighting. At least we bringing the Biden to the table, negotiating table. At least they're getting something done.
Yeah, but that's the other part that I was going to mention is that they negotiating wrong. They're coming in with what they want instead of coming in high and negotiating to a 15.
I agree with that.
So that's the other mistake that they continue to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we're gonna sit here. We're gonna sit here in a couple months. When July 4th is when they're talking about, right? July 4th to July 5th, whatever it is. We're gonna come here and we're like, "Whoa, Biden asked for $2 trillion. The Republican bipartisan was $680 billion, but we agreed to $1 trillion, and nothing that they wanted is fine because the squad said, oh well, we didn't get qualified immunity, we didn't get anything that we really wanted, but hey, we didn't let people starve, so we got $1 trillion." And every bill, we're going to say the same thing then.
Yeah, all right, we're going to move on. I like what Alan said in the chat. He said nothing less than $12 an hour within 2 years. I agree with that. All right, so let's go on to this video right here.
I want to go to President Biden. President Biden, your first day of office, you signed an executive order to protect the life and safety of transgenders. I have no problem with that. But you did it on your first day. But he sat up here with you, Charlemagne, and told black people that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So if you went out of your way begging black people to vote for you, why haven't we got an executive order or any other activity coming out of the Oval Office from President Biden to protect black people from police?
I agree.
Look what he's doing with the anti-Asian hate. President Joe Biden signed an executive order that is exclusive to Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. I don't have a problem with that. But if you can protect the Asian American and Pacific Islander from violence, why can't you do the same thing for black people? They've been dealing with violence for 1 year as a result of COVID. That's what it's called, the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Bill, to protect Asians as a result of discriminatory treatment that they've been dealing with for how long? 1 year. Black people have been catching hell for 400 years.
All right, I think we get the point. Izzy, jump in here. It sounds like you got
I mean, his statement is just blatantly false. Asian Americans have not been dealing with hatred for 1 year. That's insane. Everything else he's saying is 100% true, but we have to call out that is just plainly false.
Yeah.
I also don't remember.
That's called a cap.
He doesn't care about like the trans, like this guy. You know, I'm just gonna say, because I agree with his general point, but it's the thing that the saying that even a broken clock is right twice a day. So yeah, he's right about that.
If you didn't get anything for black people from President Obama, you think you're gonna get anything from President Biden? It's not gonna get nothing. I think it's not until our black brothers and sisters withhold their vote from a Democratic candidate or get behind a true progressive or find a progressive champion that's really going to lead, because the black vote is so powerful. Yeah. But as long as the black community continues to vote with the status quo of Democrats, they saved President Biden in this election versus Trump.
Yeah.
What they get, like 90-something% of the black vote. Yeah. So until the black vote as a bloc identifies that champion that's going to be the progressive champion, nothing's going to change. Is this insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results?
Yo, you guys remember?
Bob Blue, no matter who, Blake Gabe.
But the champion has to come though, because we all know policy wise, we like Bernie a lot more than Biden. But Bernie's campaign was kind of iffy in attracting those votes. So you want them to vote for you, got to go get them.
So you guys remember when Ice Cube, he started that wildfire when he went and he met with Trump. He also, a lot of people didn't say he met with Biden, but Biden his administration totally dismissed him. But what he was trying to do was trying to hold both sides accountable and say, hey, what are you going to do for the black community? And unfortunately, the Biden administration didn't take him seriously. Now, at this point, and I'm not saying, because, they got that famous line from that comedian that said, oh, what about Ja Rule? What does Ja Rule have to say? But he was Ice Cube was serious, and he had a coalition of other educators behind him to create a real community bill to help the black community. So that
I don't remember all the details now, but it wasn't as straight up as Biden disregarded him either. So it was more nuanced than that.
Trump did more than Biden. Let me put it that way. He actually sat down, but unfortunately, Trump did use it.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's fair to say. I mean, Donald Trump was asked if he wants to meet with another celebrity. He is, of course, going to say yes. Joe Biden, the president-elect of the United States, was asked if he wants to meet with a celebrity. He's prepping for the job.
It was while he was candidate Biden. Candidate Biden.
Wait, hold on. I might be corrected. I might be standing corrected. Holly Horn, did he keep? He said he kept that promise. So did Ice Cube meet with Biden? Let me know.
No, look at her message above. It said nothing will fundamentally change.
Oh, my bad. Okay,
that's the promise she's talking about.
Okay,
I remember that. I remember that situation.
I love how Felipe tried to flip that.
But who would actually believe that Trump was going to do anything but use Ice Cube as a prop?
Listen. This is my thing. I don't begrudge Ice Cube for meeting with him. I think that if Biden would have done the same thing, it would have canceled out. Let me put it that way. Because now you have Trump saying, "Oh, I met with him," but then you would have had Biden saying, "Oh, I met with him too," and that would have canceled it out. But he did.
But
less.
I thought we don't want the pandering.
You want the you want our vote? Come get it.
So I don't know. I'm confused now.
I think you're confusing me. Wait, Izzy, go ahead, Izzy.
No, I'm with Carlito. Like, we can't be like, oh, we're anti-pandering, don't give us the BS, but then you're like, oh, but let's definitely have the BS from Ice Cube. I mean, come on.
No, what you mean the BS?
We know Trump is not an honest actor. He's not gonna give you crap. We know what he's done. We know how he eliminated all the consent decrees that are straight up, making police departments roll back and become worse again.
No, so I agree with you on that.
But don't also sit here and say, "Oh, Biden was prepping for the job, and that's the reason why he didn't do it."
Okay,
sorry. Hold on. I just want to clear. I'm sorry, Felipe. Hold on. I just want to clarify my point real quick. So, I just want to make sure when you're a politician, you should be telling people what you're going to do for them, right?
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is Biden was not doing that in Ice Cube's case. Who he was representing the black community, and I agree. He's not like, who is he to represent the black community? So if you say that, I agree with you on that. But he was trying to do something serious. He had people behind him. And that's all I'm saying with that situation, that he was trying to meet with both to get something done. That's all I'm saying.
I see your point. And yes, you're right. But the thing is you also have to know who you're meeting with. Like just saying you met with somebody, if it's Trump, he's not really going to give you what you want.
But he's the president. He's the president. You have to do some. You have to go to both. Gabe, what do you think?
No one won in that situation.
Go ahead, Gabe.
I think Trump is terrible. Blah blah blah. He did so. For example, Centoya Brown, he got her. Pardoned? And there's some people, because of the efforts of Kim Kardashian, going and talking to him. So it's possible that a celebrity could have got through to him and gotten some things. It's not, but I know what candidate Biden, actually, they did reach out to Ice Cube and they said, "We're not interested now. We'll talk later." That's what they said to him. They said, "Not during the election. We'll talk after." And it was kind of just pushing to the side. They said, "We're not going to make any of these promises now," because they were focused on the election at hand. So I think it's nice to have them meet with you, and I think that it's important. Ultimately, we need change, so we got to get change.
We need African American, Latino votes to hold their votes.
But you get a celebrity.
All right,
let's go.
Know
go ahead, Felipe. Go ahead,
Felipe. iPhone autocorrect, just suggestive type. That's kind of how Gabe's last little spiel ended, because he was just like, "Yeah, we need change." It just had no real. Come on, you could have had a little more depth there.
You want to respond before?
I think the change we need is maybe your next degree should be in comedy school, man, because your jokes suck.
All right, let's move on. So Alan said Kanye had people behind him. All right, so it's coming up on 9:00. I'm gonna play this last video, then we're gonna go to the chat room, give some love as we head out of here. We didn't do no calzone, Carlito. My bad. I don't know if we'll have a little bit of time to do that real quick, but let's go to this video real quick. I'm curious what you all think about this.
Yeah, you got to sort of, kind of step back and wonder if AOC is sitting here saying that she's surprised by how progressive Joe Biden is, then you're probably well ensconced on top of the left-wing crazy train. But for those of us who've been covering Joe Biden for 20 years now, this is very surprising. And when he talks about whether it's infrastructure or he's talking about this crazy Green New Deal or any of these, his open border policies, all of this stuff, it comes as kind of a surprise if you stop and think about it, because it's so different from what we've heard from this guy for so long. And when he talks about, say, systemic racism, now the country is beset by this, well, if he's talking about the country for the past 20 years, he's talking about himself. He himself has been a bigger part of the system than I think anybody else in Washington today. So it's very strange.
Okay, Harold, I'm going to get to a piece by Michael Goodwin in a moment here. It's a long graph, and I want to read it for our audience. Harold, what do you think? AOC is happy so far?
Well, first off, good morning. Thanks for having me on. I think we can look at it a different way also. Maybe the Congresswoman has come around to be more moderate. Let's put it in perspective. The COVID relief package of one.
All right, so that's the hot take I wanted everybody to listen to.
This is all blatantly false. As this clip was going on, I Googled her quote, and that is not at all what she said, of course, coming from Fox is not at all surprising.
Like how you didn't even have to Google it. Listen, I didn't even have to Google it to be said that was completely false.
Yeah, but of course, Gabe is convinced right off the bat.
I was very convinced.
But listen real quick. Let me just read you the quote. She said, "One thing that I will say is that I do think the Biden administration and President Biden have exceeded expectations that progressives had. I'll be frank. I think a lot of us expected a lot more conservative administration. Those are facts. He has exceeded expectations that we had because we had no expectations of him to do anything at all. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he has exceeded those expectations. Yeah, she's not saying he's great. She's not saying he's progressive.
When you start at zero, we like twins or something. I googled it too, and in an article that I found in the Guardian, she went on to talk about all the things that she's not happy with, like she wasn't happy with the minimum wage bill that was passed that got dropped, the stimulus package. She thought it was too small. He's saying she also said, which is true, that the majority of the tension within the Democrat Party lies in the Senate. So
Case, stop spreading fake news.
But wait,
AOC is a fraud.
Well, yeah, Hallie's not a big fan of AOC. Let's talk one point about that clip before he does, where it says maybe AOC is more moderate than what people think.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
That was a good. Because I think that, I don't think AOC is as left as we thought.
Yeah, Gabe.
No, of course not, but I think the guy said maybe AOC is a moderate or something along those lines. Like, no, that's just flat out false. Yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, is she as progressive as we thought? No, she's not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, she's not in a socialist or whatever. But calling her a fraud, Holly Horn, I think that's just a tad bit too far. Because when we put our, I guess, expectations on somebody, or we think they're going to be, some kind of, firebrand, socialist or whatever, and then she's not. I wouldn't start calling her a fraud. Maybe it's like
disappointment.
Disappointing of your expectations, but I wouldn't trade her for Manchin. I'll tell you this much.
Mm-hmm. Gabe, what you think?
I think my points were already covered. Okay. That I don't think that the squad should be running defense for Joe Biden, no matter how little. I think that they got her with a clip here. They got me just saying the word exceeded expectations. That was a smart way to clip up her clip and make her sound like she was saying something that she wasn't. But I wouldn't even say that. I would just be like, I'm disappointed. I think we should be having more. That's the clip that should have been had.
Yeah, and then Fox News.
So this goes to show you. This goes to show you.
They call Biden progressive.
This goes to show you how important it is for you to word every single thing. Like, she was in a town hall with her constituents, just freestyling, not knowing that this was going to get clipped. And I'll be honest, like, this clip was played all day today on Fox News, and then of course the super left is going to be like, there, Holly Horn is going to be like, there goes Fraud Squad AOC. Much love to you, Holly.
Whose fault is that, though? Is that AOC's fault, or is that Fox News and the people who believe Fox News' fault?
I think somebody who is a political operative would say you need to be a good politician to be able to say the right things. So for example, Izzy, let me be as clear as I can be. When Bernie Sanders was in the town hall and they asked him about should people in jail vote, a Democratic operative would say, Bernie, you should have said no, because after he did that, it became like a mini cycle where they saying, oh, Bernie wants people in jail to vote. But I agree with what you're saying.
I want people in jail to vote.
I do too. No, I agree. I agree. What's the problem? But I'm just saying that somebody who's like a political operative,
are you saying or consultant. Do you want AOC to be fake and say fake things?
No,
and just be a perfectly calculated politician.
I want her to word what she says in a way that it won't get clipped. That's all I'm saying.
So everything she says always has to be perfect, so they can never be clipped by any news.
It's always going to be clipped.
Trust me, I know it's hard. I know it's hard.
It doesn't matter what she says. Fox News is going to turn it.
Trust me.
But it's Fox News.
I'll say this. This is why people go on different shows and they don't answer the question, because they know that if they say it one way, it's not going to play right. If they say it another way, it's not going to play right. So
that's why I get so frustrated when you go on a show and they ask you the same question 17 times and you never answer. She's like, what's the point of you being there?
Nah, I hear you.
It's like a yes/no question too.
I hear
so
you.
like when Kevin McCarthy was on there and they asked him about his phone call with Trump.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't answer when they, that saying that Trump told him to, he said, like, I guess you weren't as mad as the people that stormed the Capitol about the election then. Even though we had another Republican representative that, said it to the cops, like, yeah, this is what he told me. And he's still denying it.
Yeah. Is it?
Or not even denying it. He wouldn't even answer right.
Izzy, you had something for me?
Just that by you saying, you want her to be more of a politician, you're going to perpetuate the thing that you want to get rid of, which is these people going on these shows and not answering questions clearly, right? So just let her speak. Okay, every once in a while, Fox may clip something that they take way out of context. Yeah. It's going to happen, whatever.
Not every once in a while.
It's not, let me say this.
Everything she says. Even if she would have said, even if she would have said Biden is not as progressive as we will have hope, they would just put it. AOC said Biden is progressive.
Yeah. So guys, I would say that I don't want her to be a politician in the sense of lying to you, but trust me, I know it's hard. That's why I will never be a politician, because it's so hard they go into your background and look at every little thing. They bring out, oh, you did this in your past, and then when it comes to when you're talking, they clip out stuff. And Alan said in the chat, Case, you need to say that to Maxine Waters, which is absolutely correct, because she almost single-handedly, the judge from the George Floyd case, almost used what she was saying to like throw out the whole damn thing. So, this just shows that we just got to be careful when we say things. That's all I'm saying. It's not easy. Yes, I understand. All right, so 908.
We just got Mia's name right.
Damn! Oh wait, am I ever going to live this down? Jesus!
No, you're not.
She's right there. She's right there. You put her in France. So.
Yo, all right. Much love to my people.
It's like me, Mamma Mia. No,
Mamma Mia.
France.
Much love to my peoples. It's 908. So let's give some love to the chat. Mia, I love you, and I got your name right. So what else? Who we got here? We got Alan. We got Holly Horn.
Holly Horn. This is Holly Horn right here. Holly Horn.
Raphael Rodriguez.
Still love for you. Still love for you.
Holly, much love to you. And I know you're fraud squad, but this is what it's all about. This is what we hear. We're gonna have different opinions. We're gonna hash it out, and then it's no cancel zone, baby. At the end of the day, that's all it's all about. That's what it's all about. What else we got in the chat? That's it.
We have Rafael Rodriguez chiming in earlier. Yeah. We had in prison labor. They were not. They found the potato lobby being hilarious. Let's see who else.
Let's see. There are some people that I know. Sometimes we got viewers that don't chat. Because my brother told me, yeah, I'm in there, but I don't want to say anything.
Oh, okay. Erica was in there earlier as well. Yep.
Yeah, Erica. Yep.
So, as we end the show,
another thing I want to say real quick to Holly Horn. It's like, I like it. You like way left than me. It's fine with me, because one of the things that I want to do is move the Overton window to the left. So the things that we say are mainstream. You bring on more extreme stuff, I'm fine with it, because then whatever we say that is they think it's extreme now is going to become the norm, which is it in a lot of other countries.
One thing I want to clarify for that. I don't believe that just because you're more angry and you're willing to hold up the government more, that you are more left or more extreme. I think from a policy perspective, I don't think there's anyone on this panel more left than me, but Gabe is way angrier than me. There's a difference there. So I just wanted to clarify that for you.
We just have disagreement, because Gabe and I sometimes are on the same page, which is very rare.
You and Gabe are on the same page most of the time. You guys
not drama. Gabe called himself a progressive Republican. You have me here agreeing with a progressive
Republican. We call him a progressive Republican.
That's what he said he's going to run as. He said he's going to run as a progressive
He wants to be an FDR Democrat.
Yeah. All right, guys. Much love. Thanks, Mia. Love the show. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we love you too. Alan, everybody, we just did the shout out. So you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, having fun, talking politics, and not canceling each other. It's all love, spreading progressive love. We want $15 an hour. We want Medicare for all.
20.
We want $20. That's right, Izzy.
25.
Talk that
stuff.
35.
And Neat, we want to give a special shout out to Neat again for coming out as usual and hitting us up in the Discord. I want to give some love to the Discord. Like and subscribe if you're there, and also
Felipe, drop the link.
Yeah, Neat, thank you for coming out earlier in the pre-show, and we did a little bit of we're going to try to do it again
in the chat
in another way. So next time we'll see how it works out. Everybody, much love. Any last words, guys? Gabe, Carlito, Izzy, Felipe, John, Bendone, my peoples.
Yo, Alan, got nothing but love for you. I know you don't love
Canceled.
me as much, but
He said
I
canceled.
Canceled.
I got you, Alan.
All right, so I'm putting up our Patreon page. Also, thanks to our Patreon members, Pedro Hernandez, Nancy Venture, and CMT63. She hit me up and wanted to find out how to. I didn't see her today either, so hopefully maybe the link messed up.
It's in the Discord too.
Okay.